What's up, everybody? It's the end of 2023 and it's time for another tier list. On my screen, just like before, you can see my top 5 anime. I have One Piece, Attack on Titan, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Vinland Saga. There's no really specific order to it, but this is from my previous video. So if you look at the bottom, there's not that many anime at the bottom, but this is covering all the anime that I've seen in 2023. So this isn't counting new seasons or extensions of it. This is just new anime that I covered. I have some previous videos of anime tier lists that I've made. You could check those out if you want to before that to get like maybe some bigger lists. But for this video, I'm covering all the anime I've seen in 2023. Also, a quick disclaimer before I start, because I always have to do this. My ratings is not a rating for the whole show itself. It's my specific rating. It's my opinion. We can have different opinions, but also let your opinions be known in the comments down below. But just know, this is just my opinion. So let's go over the tiers. We have the S tier, which I think is just like masterpiece anime, so the best anime in my opinion. Then we have A, which is just a really solid, good anime, right? B, which means it is like just good, but it's nothing too crazy. C, we have is just average. It's not really bad or good. D, I would say is bad. Yeah, it's less than average, so it's bad. And then Garbo is just, completely garbage. Like, you should not even watch it. And then as I put them up, left to right is going to be from best to worst. Up here, it's a little different. Just because it's my top 5. But when I do the other, it's going to be best to worst, left to right when I do that. All right, so let's get started. So first, we started off the year with 86. So where would I put this? This was a little tough because I thought 86, like when I watched the first episode or two, it was going to be like really good. And everybody was raving about it in the reviews. And it kind of looked like it had a good start. And then all of a sudden, it just like kind of lost my interest. And I actually had to like fight my way to get back into it. So I'm considering between like a B and a C. It would either be like a C plus or B minus. I'm trying to figure out where to put it. I don't think I'd give it a C plus. I give it a B minus, right? So it's just B by itself right now. But yeah, I don't know. This anime didn't really jive with me too much. Maybe it's because I'm not really a huge fan of mecha anime. So this is kind of a mecha based anime. It has a pretty good plot, and like I said, it's not bad, but I don't know, I just really didn't enjoy it. But give it a shot. You never know until you try it yourself. So I think that's all I really gotta say about 86. But yeah, give it a chance. I think it has a really good opening though, and a pretty good soundtrack. I think it was like the same people that did the same soundtrack as Attack on Titan. Those are the good things I have to say about it, but I don't know, it just didn't really catch my interest that much. Next off, we have Awashi. So this is a sports anime, and it's specifically about soccer. A lot of people want to compare this and Blue Lock, and I would say they're both equally good. So I would give this, honestly, an A tier. I really enjoyed it. So with this compared to Blue Lock, this will have more of a teammate aspect to the show. So like, really coming together as a team. Obviously, everybody has their individual skills, but with this, like I mentioned before, it's got more of the teammate aspect to it than, Blue Lock, where people are just straight savages and it's just a team full of strikers, right? So yeah, Awashi, I give it a really solid rating. I think it deserves an A tier. If you have not watched it, go ahead and watch it. Especially if you liked Blue Lock and just liked a soccer anime, I think you'll really like this. Also, I'll mention it's not really like unrealistic like some sports anime. I mean, it's kind of realistic. Obviously, there's some unrealistic aspects to it, but it's not over the top, I would say. So definitely give this a shot. All right, and next we have Berserk, right? And this is the 1997 version. Man, and I gotta say, this was depressing, but not in a bad way. So for this one, this is actually a manga that I read before watching the anime. Highly, highly, highly recommend reading the manga. It is going to be miles better than any of the anime adaptations, I promise you. The artwork is crazy in there, and I feel like it just, obviously it's the original source, but just like it covers the story better than the anime adaptations. But for the 1997 version, I would say this was actually pretty good. I would give it an A. And would I put it over Awashi? I'm going to leave it here for now. Maybe I'll readjust it. But with Berserk, right, in the 1997 version, I think it is the closest adaptation to the manga material. There were some slight changes, but I feel like it's a little hard to cover because there's some things in the manga that are just too graphic to include in the show. So Yeah, I think that was the closest they can get, and it was a 1997 anime. It's an old anime, but they still did a pretty good job for covering everything that the manga covered, or at least through the Golden Age arc. So yeah, I think I'll actually bump it up. So Berserk, super good story. Highly recommend reading it. It is like, seriously, you'll actually enjoy reading it. I would say I haven't really delved into One Piece too much in the manga, but I would say so far this is my favorite manga that I've read. So yeah, definitely read Berserk. Next, we have Berserk, the Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition, I believe. So basically, there were movies that came out for this, I think in 2016. It covered basically like the beginning of the story and mainly the Golden Age Arc, which is what, you know, everybody knows Berserk for. And it just kind of like summarized multiple movies into like a few episodes, I believe, or something like that. But this is kind of like a more modern approach to that 1997 version. With this, what would I give this? It's like, do I want to put them next together, or are they actually different? So I would say I actually enjoyed the 1997 version better. In the 2016 version, like, it actually had some pretty good artwork, but this is where they started to introduce the CGI, and the CGI scenes were just really bad, but the 2D scenes were actually really nice. So I will put some of those on the screen, but they should have just went all 2D with that, in my opinion. In the current adaptation, it's just like almost all CGI, and it just looks so bad. But for the movie-based one, it was actually pretty good. But I would say I enjoyed the 1997 version more. But I did notice some changes they made in here that I wasn't really a huge fan of. It wasn't really like consistent. So I'll put it at B, but I'll put it above 86. Still worth a watch, especially if you've already seen the 1997 version and you just want to get like a more updated HD version, then watch that. And they actually do include, like, how do I say this? The more graphic scenes, I guess, but like they do cut out some parts of the, you know, manga, just like the 1997 version did. So both made changes. 1997 version is closer to the source material, but yeah, I recommend watching both. But yeah, I think 1997 did a better job of covering it. And I rambled on too much, but let's go to the next one. We have Cyberpunk Edge Runner. So this actually got Anime of the Year for what? It was like 2022 or 2023, whatever Crunchyroll classified it as. For this, what would I give it? For me, it's like between B and A. I don't know. What would I give it? I think I would give it an A. It was a very solid anime. I'll put it actually behind Awashi. I enjoyed Awashi a little more. But the thing is, with this, it was only like 10 episodes or so, but it did like a good job just consolidating everything and just making it a good anime, and it doesn't like have to continue or get a sequel. It's just its own thing. You watch it once and it's done, and it's on Netflix. I'm pretty comfortable giving it an A, especially if you played the video game. I think you would enjoy it even more because I heard they actually paid a lot of respects with the environment, some of the characters included. You'll notice a lot of that if you played the game and then went ahead and watched the anime. So yeah, I think it's pretty good in the A tier, definitely up there because, you know, obviously it did get Anime of the Year. I don't know if I would give it an S or anything, but still, solid anime. And next we have Hajime no Ippo. And bro, I don't know if y'all can see it, if I might be a little biased, but I don't know. So all I gotta say with Hajime no Ippo is Garbo.
What?
Just kidding, bro. But seriously, with Hajime no Ippo, bro, why did no one tell me about this show earlier? I am genuinely confused why no one talks about the show as much as they should. Like, this is probably one of the best shows that I've seen in a while. And it's a long, well, I want to say long running anime. It's a long running manga. I think it's actually longer than One Piece. But the thing is, like, the first season is actually old, but there are later versions in like the mid 2010s or so. But I feel like no one really talks about this. And you know where I'm gonna put it? Up here. Literally, I would say Hajime no Ippo is in my top 10 anime. I would say it is my favorite sports anime. And the thing why I like it is because it covers a lot of things for making like a good show, right? So there's good comedy to it. There's good action to it because it's boxing, which is fighting. So pretty much you'll get fighting all the time if you're a huge fighting fan, right? The plot is good. It's you know, a classic underdog story, but you still get to follow some other side characters and their stories. So, you know, good supporting characters. Voice acting's good. I say the animation is good, even for the old style. I don't know, there's just something about a retro feel, and even the newer style animation was really nice. The creativity in the fights, the music, the openings, the endings. Bro, like, I don't know, I could just be glazing, but this was a really solid anime. If you have not seen Hajime no Ippo, please watch it right now. You'll enjoy the old version and you'll enjoy the new versions. The only thing that sucks is that I don't know if we're getting any newer anime adaptations for, you know, the later manga chapter. So I'm probably gonna have to start reading it. But for everything that's out, super good, man. You definitely have to watch it. I can ramble about this forever, but yeah, it's in my top 10 anime. That's how good it is, at least to me. Alright, and next we have Hell's Paradise. So this actually I think dropped in 2023. This one is really solid. I feel like they can add a little more to it to bump its rating up. But I think it's like just getting started, so it's kind of hard to just get like a really solid start when an anime just starts. But I would give this an A tier. It's just like a really interesting story. It's got good action, good animation, yada yada. But I just feel like it can go a little deeper, but we probably just need more episodes to come out. So I enjoyed it more than Cyberpunk. And I don't know where I would put it between Awashi and here, because like these are just two different kinds of anime. One is sports and one is like, you know, action / shonen based. I don't even know if I would call this shonen because it's pretty like just straight graphic. It might yeah, I don't know. Dang it. Where would I put it, man? I think I'm gonna put it right here. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think it's good right there. But it's a cool anime. It's about people on death row, and they can get off their death row if they go to this island and find this elixir that gives someone immortality. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's solid. So if you want to watch something new that you haven't seen, and you want to watch like an action-based one and with maybe some supernatural abilities and stuff, solid one to start. That's all really I gotta say about it. Next, we have Jobless Reincarnation. So this is an isekai anime. Person gets born into a new world, yada yada. Where would I rate this? Honestly, I actually really enjoyed it, especially in the beginning. I think it was really solid. But then on the, second season? For me, it just kind of like fell off a little bit. It felt almost like a filler arc. It was hard to explain, but it didn't capture my interest as much as the first season did. With that, I think it still deserves an A tier, but I don't know how high I would put it up here. I would say currently this is probably my favorite isekai anime, and I am not a huge fan of isekai anime. So that says a lot. That's why I think I would put it in the A tier. It's funny, but the thing is, it's a little weird because the dude who was born to another world was an older man, but he got reborn as a baby and has to grow up, and he makes some questionable choices. I know he's in a new world, but I'm like, bruh, he still retains his mindset where he's basically an older man, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, but I would put it probably, I think I'll put it right there. This has potential to move up further, but where it is now, I think I would place it here. So for anybody reading this, I don't know, maybe you think it should go up higher or maybe even lower, but yeah, I'm just going off based on what I've seen in the anime so far. So yeah, I think I'm comfortable having it there. If you like isekai animes, I think you would really like this. And it also, if you didn't know, it is magic based. So, you know, I don't know what it's called, wizard, or, you know, people use magic. And next we have Kuroko no Basket. So this is actually what I'm watching. Currently, I'm on the second season, about midway through. And what would I give this? I think I'll give it a B. And I'll put it above 86, but below Berserk. So this, I think this could move up a little higher maybe as I watch more seasons, because in the beginning, it was just like pretty cool and interesting. But as you go deeper into it, I don't know, it gets a lot better, especially with the animation and like the soundtracks and everything. So this is a basketball anime. With this, it's a little over the top with the abilities and stuff. Like, bro, we have someone that can shoot a full court jumper and make it, bro. Not even chucking it. A jumper with super high arc all the way across the court and makes it. Yeah, the cool thing with this though is like, just like most sports anime, people have special abilities, right? And it's just cool to see each person's special ability and seeing it put into action, and also, you know, them going up against each other. But yeah, you know, pretty good underdog story so far. Yeah, just solid sports anime, but it is a little over the top with the abilities and stuff. So if you prefer like realistic sports anime, this would probably not be for you, but I think it's still interesting to watch if you're into basketball and want to watch like a basketball based anime. Next up, we have Monster. Now this was a really solid anime. So this is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of a suspense and mystery based anime. Yeah, I don't know how to like really describe it too much without giving too much away. I would just say if you're into suspense based anime, maybe you're a fan of something like Death Note, you might like this. So it's definitely in the A or S tier, but I don't want to put it like too high. But it was really solid. I don't know. And there was a part in it that made me cry. Dang it. It's either, I would say A plus or close to S. So I have some other anime that I might have rated too high in my previous tier list, but once I watch 100 total anime, I think I'm on 69 anime right now. But once I get to 100, I'll probably do a whole video where I review everything I've seen, and I'll probably do some readjustments. But I put Death Note at S, and this is like, to me, it's close to Death Note, if not the same. I think, this is hard, bro, because it's so good too, though. But I'll give it an A at the top for now, because the only thing that's holding me back from giving it an S is I do feel it was dragged out a little longer than it should have. I don't want to compare it to Death Note too much, but I'm saying Death Note, it was pretty short. It's like 37 episodes. This is like 70 something episodes, but I feel like we didn't need all those episodes, right? And then the ending is very open-ended. There's no clear ending, and I kind of wanted a clear ending. There's nothing wrong with having an open-ended ending, but I kind of wanted some clarity with stuff, and I feel like I didn't get too much of it. I would say like A plus, close to S. Maybe I'll change my mind at some point, but yeah, I think I'll put it here. But definitely watch Monster if you haven't. It's super solid, really good. All right, and the only ones left down here are anime movies, and these are both from Studio Ghibli. The actual pronunciation is, I think, Ghibli, but you know, from like an English standpoint, I'll just say Ghibli. So from Studio Ghibli. So first we have Spirited Away, right? And this is one of the highly regarded anime movies of all time, right? But for me, I'm just kidding. I would put it here though, which is probably gonna shock some people, so don't roast me too much in the comments, but the only reason I'm putting it here is because it was confusing a little bit. You can call me stupid. I know that they did a lot of references to, I don't know how to say it, like, I don't want to call it a folktale, but like Japanese, I don't know how to say, like folktale afterlife kind of references, right? So me personally, I'm not going to fully understand that, but if you get some of that stuff beforehand, it might make more sense, right? But for me, I was just left confused when I was watching it, and yeah, but I will say, for its time and even currently, beautiful artwork, beautiful animation, good soundtrack, but the story was confusing. So an anime can be super pretty, but if I can't follow the story clearly, from my personal standpoint, I'm not going to enjoy it that much, right? So that's why I'm giving that rating. I think you should still watch it because it's so highly acclaimed, but yeah, I don't know. That's just where it sits with me, right? And then down here, we have another Studio Ghibli film. This is The Boy and the Heron, which actually came out pretty recently from the time that I'm uploading this. Again, when I watched it, I was confused, man. I was confused. But again, beautiful artwork, beautiful animation. But I walked out the theater confused, man. It had a decent start too, but the deeper you got into it, the more confusing it got. So, with that said, would I prefer that or that? I would say I'm gonna put The Boy and the Heron below Spirited Away, just because Spirited Away was a little easier to follow than this. But both great animation, great artwork. But yeah, they were both just super confusing for me to follow. And someone let me know. Maybe all the Studio Ghibli films are like that. I have some on my list to watch for 2024. But yeah, maybe it's just that direction that they go with those films. But as you can see, this is the anime tier list for 2024. So we got the S tier up here. Hajime no Ippo was the new one that got added up here, but it's not in my top 5. So nothing changed in my top 5. This is in my top 10 though. So that is a pretty big thing to note. We got the A tier up here, B tier. So these are pretty good. And then C tier, which I think was average. And just know these are all my personal opinions. But let me know what you think of this tier list in the comment section below. Question of the day, let me know what your favorite anime of 2023 was. And I would say, like, you know, maybe the shows that you picked up that were newer, so not really continuations. So let me know what some of your top new anime in 2023 was. And also note, you can go in the description and go to my anime list, which will have all of my anime that I've seen, plan to watch, have watched, am currently watching, and has all the ratings of what I gave it. So it's not really tier based, it'll actually be a number based system out of 10. So you can actually see what I specifically score these. But yeah, that'll be linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to see my tier list from last year, make sure you click right here. Click that so you can see what I watched last year.